Good evening, everybody. This is Rabbi Karen, and we're here for our Tuesday Maariv service. I want to welcome you all on this chilly night. We've had some wonderful, delicious, cool weather here in Florida. And I hope you're all well. I hope everybody is doing good. And please join us on Facebook, on YouTube, on simshalom.com. We are here for our Tuesday Maariv service. I'm just signing in so we could do the chat because I didn't know we weren't signed in. So forgive me while I do a little bit of clerical. Okay, so I hope everybody's well. I hope everybody's healthy. I hope everybody is enjoying. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Hanukkah, a really good Hanukkah, a blessed one. May the light of your Chanukiah guide our way and shine brightly every evening. So now you can all type to me in the chat room. That's great. And welcome to all as we get ready for our Tuesday Maariv service. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, as we're getting ready to begin, I hope your Chanukiah is shining bright and your latkes are light and fluffy. Well, Albert, thank you. I'm so glad you're here tonight, and a Chag Sameach to you. And we have Al driving from Chicago, and we have Sue Marie Bowers about to join us. So I'll begin in a moment. And Sue Marie is here. All right. And Ellen Rose. Very good. I'm glad you're with us also. All right, so let's get ready to begin. Share screen. Maariv. And our Tuesday Maariv service. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
I'm gonna have to back out and come back in because I don't have audio.
Sue Marie, can you? Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is and how pleasant when we dwell together in unity. And now our call to praise. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai hamavorach le'olam va'ed. Praise be Adonai, whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, whom praise is due now and forever. Okay, let me just say. Okay, and so we think of Adonai and the miracle of separating light from dark and dark from light. When we see that sunrise, we see that sunset, we're reminded of Adonai's miracle. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bivaro ma'ariv aravim b'chochma potech she'arim u'vitbuna mishaneh etim u'machalif et hazmanim u'msader et kochavim b'mishmoroteim barakia kirtzono. You abound in blessings, Eternal One, our God, sovereign of all time and space, whose wisdom brings on twilight. With wisdom you open gateways, with understanding you alter times, vary the seasons, and assign the stars to their watches in the sky. Creator of day and night, who rolls light away from darkness and darkness from light. You cause day to pass and bring about night, distinguishing between day and night. Source of all forces is your name. O living and enduring God, reign over us forever and ever. Blessed are you, eternal one, who brings on twilight. Everlasting love, you offer your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night, we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people, Israel. And now we will think about this prayer, the prayer that in one sentence defines who we are, a prayer that states rather than asks. The Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Blessed be the name of his glorious kingdom forever and ever. Sue Bowers, give me a thumbs up. Is everything okay now? All right. Let me go to the chat and see if anybody's chatting with me here. Okay, so we have Ellen Rose, Kihunde, Sharon, Susie, Dee, and Sue Marie is there again. All right, the gang's all here. I'm so happy that we are all together tonight. Okay, so let's get back to what we are sharing. We stop share. Let me share because I'm pretending I know what I'm doing. And now you shall love. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher nochi mizapcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha v'leftecha v'aderech v'shaf b'hav kamecha v'shatam le'oda yadecha v'hayu l'totefot beinenecha uvtavtam al mezuzot beitecha v'sharecha Leman tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohehem ani Adonai Elohechem asher chotzeti ethem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lechem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem. I am Adonai, your God. And now as the women went through Adonai's miracle at the parting of the Red Sea, they sang, Mi chamocha ba'alim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, no ra tehilot, osef eleh, malchutecha ra'u beinecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praise to you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Ashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'achamirenu malkeinu l'chayim, ufrosh aleinu sukat shalomecha. Adonai, bless us as we are still in troubled times. Please take all the hate that's in the hearts and turn it into love. Please let us have compassion for each other. Please let us watch over each other. And please help guide us and spread your shelter of love and peace. Please bless those who are there to help us, first responders, scientists, doctors. Please help them to eradicate this disease as we have another variant knocking at our shores. Please help us to help ourselves. Spread us over your shelter of peace. Baruch atah Adonai haporesh sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who spreads your shelter of peace over us, over your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabba v'yamad yivrach hirutei v'yamlich malhutei v'chayechon uv'yo omechon uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael Bagala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yesh me rabba mevorach le'olam le'omei amaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yapar v'yiroman v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu leila mikol bechata v'shirata tush bechata v'neh Chemota da mira belma v'imru amen. Our standing prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim v'Konei HaKol v'Zocher Chazdei Avot v'Imaot u'Mevi Gula Livnei V'nehem L'man Shemo B'Ahava Melech Ozeru Moshiach u'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Remember, Adonai, the promises you made to our ancestors. We're reminding you that those promises are in our family, so please keep the promises to us. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai mechayeh hakol atah rav l'hoshia mechakeh chayim b'chesed Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofeh cholim umatir asurim umkayem emunato lishenei afar michamocha bal gevurot umido melech memid umkayem umatzmiach Yeshua B'ne'emanata lahayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol. And this week's Torah portion is Parsha Miketz. Now, up until this point, Joseph has been the favorite son of Jacob, and his older brothers are quite jealous, and Joseph flaunts that jealousy. He has shown no remorse, but wanting to show his brothers that he is the favorite. In fact, his father gave him a coat of many different colors. The brothers were so jealous that they threw him in a pit, and they took the coat, cut it up, and dipped it in blood of an animal to show that Joseph was attacked by this animal, which in fact wasn't. And then the brothers, except for Reuben, agreed to sell Joseph into slavery. We next find Joseph in Egypt, and he is a slave, but the mistress of his master has made motions toward Joseph, which Joseph refused. So she accused Joseph of far worse, and he's thrown in jail. While he's in jail, he interpreted the dreams of some of the others, and this was remembered. Now, we have the final chapter of this story, in which we know Joseph becomes like the head viceroy of the Pharaoh. See, the Pharaoh had some disturbing dreams, and nobody could interpret them. But the baker and the butler remembered Joseph from the prison, the Hebrew slave who was in prison, and he was an interpreter of dreams. And so Joseph interpreted as there was going to be 7 fat years in the land of Egypt. And then there'll be 7 lean years in which the entire region would suffer from famine. So Joseph told Pharaoh what to do, and that's to store as much as he could from the fat years to save for the lean years. And of course, Joseph is rewarded. And in fact, Joseph becomes the head viceroy. Now it has become, and he's provided with a wife, and he has 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. Well, there's famine throughout the region, and Jacob sends his sons to buy grain to Egypt, but wants the youngest son, Benjamin, to remain with him. He fears losing Benjamin as he lost Joseph. And the brothers go to Egypt and they meet the viceroy, unaware that that's their brother. But Joseph recognized them, and he said nothing. And the first thing he does is accuse them of all sorts of misdeeds, and they're jailed. Joseph then says to the brothers, I want you to go back to where you came from, but bring your younger brother with you. And he kept Shimon in jail, but also returned the money, that the grains that they brought with them. So the brothers go back, and at this point they're realizing they're being punished for what they did to Joseph, still not knowing that is Joseph. Jacob doesn't want to give up Benjamin, but the brothers plead, and Benjamin goes with them, and they're greeted by Joseph. Shimon is released from jail. They celebrate, and as they leave, Joseph again has the money that they spent put back in their bags, but a silver goblet is put into Benjamin's pack. As the brothers begin to leave, they're stopped by the guards and accused of stealing, and there is the money back in their packs. And there is that goblet of Benjamin, that Benjamin they thought took it. They're sent back to Joseph, and they plead with Joseph, don't harm the younger brother, because their father, who is blind at this point, he's already lost 1 son, couldn't bear to lose his youngest, and the older brothers offered themselves. Joseph saw that they were truly, truly remorseful. And what did he do? He revealed to his brothers who he was. And they cried, and they rejoiced, and they went to get Jacob and the rest of his grouping, and they all settled in Egypt. So, what's the point? We have to think, are we predestined for certain events in life? Or are things just happen haphazardly? For example, if the brothers never sold Joseph into slavery, would they have lived those many good hundreds of years in Egypt? That was a chain of events. Joseph is a slave. He's thrown in jail. Would the Pharaoh have ever paid any attention to him if he was not an interpreter of dreams and had been in jail? Would he have even known of his ability? Would Jacob have just come to Egypt without the events of Joseph's, let's say, little trickery? Do we have free will? Or are some things predestined in life? Well, one thing, we call it cause and effect. One thing happens, then another, then another. Think about your actions. You may need to think about the actions that you do daily, the actions that you say daily. The words, I don't mean actions, the words that you say daily. Is there an effect? If there's a negative effect, you need to think, what did I do to cause it? Or do things just happen? Blank happens. So let's think about, do things happen for a reason? Is it why it's happening? Would we have ended up slaves in Egypt and then taken to a land that Adonai promised us if Joseph's brothers hadn't thrown him in that pit? We need to think about those building blocks, but we need to think about who we are and what our actions can cause for the future. Now, not only am I saying Shabbat Shalom, but I'm also saying Chag Hanukkah Sameach. May the lights of your candles open up the lights of your home, the warmth and the lights of your home. Now let's take a few moments to listen to the prayers in our hearts and in our minds. Oh, say Shalom Bimrumav, Uyase Shalom Aleinu, Ve'akol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oh, say Shalom Bimrumav, Uyase Shalom Aleinu, Ve'akol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. And now our prayer for healing. So please type the names into the chat, and I will be glad to say their names as we wish them healing of the mind and healing of the heart. I want to start with Sid and Joyce Becker, Katie Marcello, Lauren, my friend Joyce, and all those who are suffering and need our help. Dorothy, Marlene, Tina, Carol, Roberta, Ray, Sarah, Jean, and Bob. I want to add Albert, Beth, and Amy. Menashe ben Menachem. All those who are homeless, physically and emotionally suffering. Majamaka, Bat, Perochaya, Joyce Harris, Evie Stewart, Jerry Betty, Marlene Gerger Smith, Ellen King, Georgette, Stephen, Sharon Beverly, Stephen Fort Senzer, Jim Daly and the Carroll family, the Patel family, Larry Wolfson, everyone who needs healing. Okay, I think of Valerie, Erin, Maddie, Amy, Maya, Rose, Malcolm and Albert, Shirley. Okay, let's go back to our prayer. Jenny Botnina, Ginny Botwana, Perry Ben, Betty, Lenny Ben Alexandra, and those mentally impaired veterans, the veterans with PTSD, all our veterans. Mishe Be'ravotenu, B'ho HaBraha Limotenu, May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishebeirahimotenu Nohol habraha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Aleinu l'shaberach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kikoye haratzot, v'lo samanu kimishpachot hadama, shelo sam helkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamanam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'ne'eman V'haya Adonai L'melech HaKoret, Bayom Hahu, Yeh Adonai Echad, U'shmo Echad. We recall the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at the season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. The memories of all of them are with us, our griefs and sympathies are mingled, as we praise Adonai and pray for the coming of Adonai's kingdom. And if you know someone who passed recently, you're observing a yahrzeit or shaloshim, please keep their names close to your heart. And I want to say Stacy. Yit gadal v'ikadash shemei rabbah. Yalmadi rachimute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayedechol beit Yisrael, b'agalav zman kariv yimru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevorach v'yalam olamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yiroman v'yinaseh. V'yitalal v'yitalal shmei dekudashah b'rechu. Li'elam minchol bechata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, ta'amiram v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehesh lamar Rabba min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mumav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru amen. And may all those who are in mourning be comforted by the one who comforts all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for another wonderful evening. I'm so glad that we had this time to share together. Hey, didn't somebody used to sing that? I'm so glad we had this time together. I am so glad that we did have this time together. And I hope you are staying warm and safe and not getting into any trouble. Behave. Have a wonderful Hanukkah. Look for us Monday through Friday, JSLI, Facebook, UJUC, simshalom.com, YouTube. We're here for you. Be well and enjoy, everybody.